Yes, y'all. It is Charles Dixon. We are here, Chasing Chips podcast, and with my guy.
Josh, you already know.
You already know, happy MLK Day. Well, yesterday was MLK Day. It was a grand day, one of the best days in the NBA, but also one of the greatest days, just to celebrate a great man and Martin Luther King. I have to start off with one of my favorite quotes from MLK. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? We have to keep moving forward as a people, even though, what I'm saying, we got some haters and everybody got haters from time to time. You got to keep moving forward, keep being positive. You know what I'm saying?
No, I just love how it's one of your favorite quotes.
What?
It's just one of your favorite quotes. Just I don't know if I have like favorite quotes. I was just thinking about that.
Just in general?
Just in general, yeah. I don't know if I just like have like a bevy of favorite quotes. I don't know if I have like a bag of that. Do you have other favorite quotes, or is this just like one that came to mind, or is it just a talking track?
I mean, I have other favorite quotes. I don't have like I can probably go like as soon as I see him, okay, that's one I have written down somewhere.
In the bag.
It's in the bag somewhere. But no, not I don't have a ton, but I think for the time being, like I feel like I have like right now I have probably a whole bunch of quotes from Will Smith in my mind because I'm reading his book right now.
Yeah,
so
right.
I have just a bunch of those. But I think my favorite quote right now is from your guy, Devin Booker. He was at the end of his like interview. He was like, everybody talks about mama mentality, and most of these guys that are talking are living in their mama's crib, and then he just like walks off.
Yeah,
he's like, because he's trying to tell them like, look, you got mama mentality, and you talking all that smack about what I do, who I am. I'm not Kobe and all this stuff. From your parents' crib. If your mama mentality, you would have been up out of there by then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I think it just comes to like as a Suns fan, you realize why it happens so much is because it's people, all these like Twitter stands or these reporters, they're in this too, is that whenever they cover the Suns, people get real lazy about the narrative that they choose on like which theme they want to pick. And everyone knows that Devin Booker has a very close spot in his heart for Kobe Bryant. He was a huge inspiration to him in his life. That being said, now every time Devin Booker does something well or like, succeeds in some manner or form in basketball, it doesn't mean that we should instantly bring up Kobe. And I think that's like one of his biggest points is that like just stop comparing him to Kobe because he's never going to be Kobe. He never doesn't want to be Kobe. He's inspired by Kobe, but it's not something that we should bring up every time he does well. It gets a little much after a while, and it's overplayed. I think that's really his biggest point is that it's overplayed, and he's not trying to compare himself to Kobe. It's just these kind of lazy writers or lazy broadcasters or people that don't know him just bring it up all the time. So it wasn't like any real shots. It was just like, hey, let's just stop talking about it. And I understand why.
I definitely agree. I agree. I mean, he was just voted Western Conference Player of the Week. Like wasn't against the Spurs. He went crazy. 48 points, 5 rebounds and 6 assists. So I know you feeling real good right now. Y'all won in the last 7 out of the last 8?
Yep.
So
yeah, we feeling good.
At the top,
honestly, we're number one still. We're number one. It's just funny listening to your tweet. I don't know if you want to talk about that now or later, but
we can
with the Grizzlies and all that stuff. That kind of frustrated me. You thinking that somehow the Grizzlies should be ranked higher in power rankings than the Suns. It just blows my mind. Yes, I get it. Like the Memphis Grizzlies were on a huge win streak. I think it was like 10, 11 games, something like that.
11, yep.
But that means nothing. Like we've been steady winning this whole year. We've been around the number one spot this whole year. Devin Booker's scoring 48 points out here. and everyone's still riding the Ja Morant train. I mean, I get it. I love Ja Morant too. He's an amazing player. But to put the Memphis Grizzlies above the Suns is just beyond disrespectful. I don't think people like really understand the gravity of that decision. And whoever's putting together these NBA power rankings, they need to start watching basketball. Just start watching. Maybe a couple games here and there, and maybe you'll learn something.
Okay, the power rankings have
Just
Grizzlies number 1, the Suns second, Warriors third, Sixers, Heat, Bucks, Nets, Bulls, Cavs, and Jazz.
And that's another thing. Why are you putting the Sixers so high? Damn.
They on a streak. I guess they're on a winning streak too. Look at the power rankings, and what I've learned over time and working with like guys like Nick Wright, their power rankings on how good you are that week. You know what I'm saying, or leading up to the next power rankings. Like
is that what it is?
Those 2 weeks, yes, those last 2 weeks, they kind of judge more in the play. They don't really judge the entire season. That's why they change all the time. That's why like guys like the Suns that may have the best record in the league may drop to like third or something like that because the past 2 weeks they lost 2 games or something like that. So when these were made, and I'm trying to explain this to you and explain this before, was that I don't think they're getting no respect. Like your tweet was, what the F is this? Suns get no respect. They're second. I don't understand. Like no respect would be like fifth or third or fourth.
So is that really the definition of the power rankings, or are you just making assumptions?
No, that's usually what it is. They usually are changing these via NBA. They're doing it like usually the week.
It's the last week or last 2 weeks.
Last week, usually last 2 weeks, or whenever the last one came out. That's how they usually do it. That's how they
definition.
So you guys went what 7-1 before these came out, and they went 11-0. So yes, they moved up. They are at the time playing better for the last 2 weeks. Now, do they stay at number 1? Would you guys winning? If you guys keep winning, I can't see them staying number 1. The Warriors win 5 in a row, and then y'all win 3 more in a row. I mean, y'all be 10-1, same record as them.
I don't know.
They lost to the Mavs.
I feel like you're making some bold statements here. And I don't know. I don't have the wherewithal to look this up. But I think the NBA power rankings are typically, they do judge the entire season. It's not just the last 10 games kind of thing. But,
I don't think they put. I don't think
we'll see.
I don't think they judge just the record. If they judge the record, it'd just be standings. Power rankings is about play and who they play and how they play in those last weeks.
I think the standings,
if it was just standings, the Suns will always be first.
Well, no, I think the standings matters, but I think there can be slight adjustments made from like ease of schedule or like players coming back from injury. For example, the Warriors, getting Clay back is huge. So you think that they're going to obviously rise in power rankings before their record reflects that, even though that they are still like, was it 2 in the NBA? But my point is that I think the NBA power rankings captures the entire season. I don't think it just captures the last 10 games. And even if it did capture the last 10 games, we've still won like 8 out of the last 10 games. So I don't get it.
So that means you lost 2 games, correct?
If you're only looking at the last 10 games, I
that's what I'm trying. Like, I'm letting you know. That's how they do it.
It's only the last 10 games.
They're not looking They're not looking at the whole season. Then it just be standings. How do you think they should do power rankings? Then how should you think? What do you think? What do you think should be the criteria?
I think that they should look at all the criteria, and then that's essentially the power rankings. Whenever it's not like they should call it the last 10 game power rankings if that's what it is. It's
a long name, man. No one's calling it that.
But honestly,
did you see the last 10 game power rankings? Oh man, they were just great.
That's true. But I need a definition. I need to understand who's doing this. Who is doing it, and what are you doing it for?
I'm gonna go with they are somebody that probably watches the NBA because they work for NBA.com.
Maybe. I don't know.
You just think no one watches the NBA when the Suns are not at the top of their anything. You know what I'm saying?
Because, you have to be blind to not recognize that the Suns are the best team in the NBA right now.
No one said they weren't. These rankings are not saying that the Grizzlies are the best. They are saying the Grizzlies are the best team right now.
Exactly.
Didn't they beat y'all?
Yeah, I mean, it was
Okay,
a
and then
buzzer beater.
all right then. Then why you
But
think he
do you
chose?
think okay? But do you have the Suns and Grizzlies in the 7-game series? Who are you picking?
That's not it's not NBA who will win a 7-game series power rankings, dog.
I mean, in my mind, that's like
I see.
making a statement.
I
That's
see.
making a statement. Like you're coming for my life. You know, you're attacking me by saying that the Grizzlies are above the Suns. So I mean, if people think the power rankings, like if you have a team at 1 or you have a team at 2,
Mhm.
you're basically picking that team in a 7-game series. I mean, that's my mind. That's how my mind works.
That's exactly where you go all the
That's
way.
exactly where I go. You
So
know, it's a
so
threat. It's an
so
immediate threat.
so the Sixers will Sixers are fourth in this. So you think the Sixers will beat the Heat in the playoffs?
No, I don't, and that's another
And
problem.
then you think the Sixers or Heat will beat the Bucks in the playoffs, which we don't either.
No,
And think that
that's why these power rankings are a sham.
yeah.
I don't get it.
It's so
They need to
so we're gonna
preface. They need
well,
to have an underlined tweet that says this power rankings is defined as such and such and such and such and such. I need to know the definition.
well, my Clippers won. They won. Nicholas Batum went crazy for 32 points, all in the second half. All in the second. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. The funny thing is, going
Yeah,
into
that
the
was wild.
second half, we were up, and I was like, Batum has scored 0 points. I'm like, man, there's no way he stays at 0. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna, come alive, maybe make 2 or 3. Then I think he was gonna make 7 3-pointers out of 10. You know what I'm saying? And have 32 points, it pretty much lead us to a victory against the Pacers. And we've been talking about the Pacers. We don't know what's going on over there and why they haven't traded anybody and what they are looking for. But
Yeah,
that's a good team,
fuck them.
man. Like, it makes no sense to me watching that game. I was like, man, the Pacers are good. Like, they're good enough to make the playoffs. They're good enough if they make some trades to get people on the team. But anywho, it's not about them.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it is kind of about them though. Let's talk about that because I'm very interested.
I just want to, you know what? Yes, because it frustrates me because I don't understand what they're looking for. They don't want to. They haven't made a trade. They got 2 more weeks to make a trade. They put all these great guys on the table to disrupt, the chemistry.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I just think Rick Carlisle's just be doing that most everywhere he goes. He just
So you
does
think
the
it's
most.
Rick? You don't think it's the management?
I think it's Rick. He came. They weren't talking about this last year. This team is not. It hasn't changed.
Yeah, I don't get it because they are very. And I was talking to a Pacers fan the other day, and I was telling him like I don't really understand it why you guys are losing so much because talent wise and on paper it seems like you guys are there. I don't know if it's just like the Twin Tower thing is not working. They're like trying to start Miles Turner and Sabonis together. Maybe that's not working. I'm not really watching Pacers games for real.
I mean,
I feel like they have the talent there, like Brogdon, Karis LeVert. They got Sabonis, Miles Turner. They got Justin Holiday. They got some squads.
Everywhere he goes, Rick Carlisle. Everywhere he goes, he makes some type of beef with a player on the team. It's just I feel like Miles Turner was cool with starting. That Twin Tower thing was working. It wasn't working to the point where like, okay, we're gonna talk about the Pacers like beating the Bucks or anything like that, but it's the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? They got Giannis, but they were still a 4 or 5 team in the East. He come in, put Miles Turner to the bench, then call him a role player.
Oh, he called him a role player?
I mean, yeah. Remember, he said, "I'm not a role player," and then Rick Carlisle was like, "Man, shut up!" Like, pretty much, like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, no one's really worried about you. And I'm like that. And now he's like, that's disrespectful. Like, no player in the NBA is thinking it as himself coming into the NBA, especially a young star, is like, I'm a role player. I'm a role player. I'm not a starter. You know what I'm saying? And he's been a starter. Miles Turner's been a starter.
Yeah, he deserves a start for sure.
He deserves to start.
Yeah, I think he just needs to play that 5 though. The 4, I don't get that. I don't think either. I don't think Sabonis or Miles Turner should be playing the 4.
I think in their situation it's just up, and I think whoever they play. I don't think it's like like some teams it matters like who's the 4 and the 5. I think whoever has the better matchup. Like they both can be starters, but if they're playing like the Timberwolves, and it's like Karl Anthony Towns and Naz Reid. Hey, Miles is like, you know what? I'll guard Naz, or I'll guard Cat, and he be like, Sabonis is like, okay, I'll guard Naz. Like, I don't think they're really picking. Like, I'm the 4 today, you're the 5. Like, it's like we're both tall, we both can play defense. Who do you want to guard? I want to guard this person. Cool. Like,
I wonder who plays better perimeter defense though. That's my question, because I feel like they both probably struggle in that regard.
They both probably, probably both struggle. I think it's a team thing. I think Karis LeVert plays the perimeter defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't get it. I really
think be helping out.
I really think they're gonna probably end up making a trade this week. You know, that's just my hunch. I have a feeling that they're gonna pull the trigger this week and either trade Sabonis or Miles Turner. And they have to keep one of them. You can't just
I wouldn't trade Sabonis. That's the thing. I don't understand why. When they put him on the table, I didn't get it. Like, that he's your best player,
right?
Him and Ogden together and LeVert, and then go get somebody else. Go get a
more versatile power forward, and then
or something. Go get some shooters, some more shooters. I mean, what I'm saying, like, you're doing too much. But like the Clippers are on an 8-game road. You know, I'm bringing it back to my squad,
hometown.
Clippers,
let's go
on an 8-game road trip. You know, the Grammys road trip, or what we call it. And it was very, very, very important to get that win before we got on that road trip. Like, I was very worried. We started off the game 18-8, and I was like, okay. Then second quarter, we just decided not to play basketball. Only scored like 16 points. But Reggie Jackson came alive, as he usually does in the fourth quarter. You know, Batum, like I said, but it's like very important that we get that home win, because that 8-game road trip is not nice. It is a lot of tough teams. We ended with a game in Indiana, but it's a lot of tough teams. We got Charlotte, we got Boston, we got all types of like really good teams coming up. Do we have Boston?
So here's my question to you: is that, do you guys need to make a trade before the deadline?
So we are not making a trade. There's like I said before, we would not make any trades because we are walking into this season with Kawhi out. We all deemed it, when Clippers kind of front office deemed it as a development year. So we're going to spend the year just developing our guys, you know, Amir Coffey, Brandon Boston Jr., and Terrence Mann getting some more minutes, things like that. And then coming in, when Paul George got hurt, we were like, wow, this is really a development year. But when you look at the standings and look at the team that we have, you're like, how in the world are the Clippers 5,500? Like, if I had this squad, no PG, no Kawhi coming into the league, into the season, I would have told you we're not making the playoffs, or we're making a play-in. Now, do we still, like, my prediction was 4 or 5 seed with PG. And now we're not going to have a PG, and that's why I'm really, really leaning on this 8-game win streak. I mean,
and PG is not coming back this season. Is that decided?
We don't know. He hasn't been. His second evaluation hasn't happened yet. He was him and Kawhi were chilling at the Rams game yesterday. Hanging out with Mookie,
directing some albums together.
But yeah, man, this is just I just always want to just talk about how Ty Lue is one of the best coaches in the league. His player development is just on just a different level than other coaches, like Brandon Boston Jr., Amir Coffey, Terrence Mann in the past 2 years has been fantastic under Ty Lue. And that's why we are where we're at. You know what I'm saying? We got the Nuggets tomorrow. We got the 76ers, and then the Knicks, Wizards, and Magics. You know, we got the Heat, Hornets, Pacers. And then we come home and we play the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? At home. So it's one of those things that it's very, very imperative that we win at least 4 of these games. And it should be the Magics. We should beat the Knicks. We should beat the Wizards. And we should beat the Hornets. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I think, you know what I'm saying? Yes.
We should beat the Hornets?
We should.
That's tough. I don't know about that. But, okay, that's good to know. So no trades at all. As is, you're good.
Yeah.
Keep the young bloods.
Yeah, I think our core is really good. And there's no one, I mean, the one person that I think if we could trade is Marcus Morris with
No, you don't want
Ibaka.
to do that.
But I don't want to do that right now. Marcus is having a
I've
great.
traded Ibaka. I'd consider trading him.
Nobody wants him.
That's
He's
true.
not. Nobody wants him. Let's just put it like that. Nobody wants him.
That's true. That's true.
But I also want to like. Do you think MLK Day is better than Christmas in the NBA?
No, because not everyone has off, unfortunately, which is another whole topic of conversation and bullshit.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I was kind of like working during some of these games, so yeah, it's not as cool. I was slacking a little bit. I was definitely peeking here and there. I work from home, so it's not like anyone's watching me.
Right.
The games are on for me, but I'm thinking about all the other people that had to work. Which is bullshit. And I wouldn't say most people don't work on Christmas, but I would say there's probably a higher percentage of people that don't work on Christmas. So you at least have time to watch the games.
Yeah, especially like this Christmas, it was like we had 5 games. Were all of them good? No. I think you got like 2 or 3 of them were good. And I just think today, I think the meaning of MLK Day, and just how many great games there were yesterday was like, we had Blazers, Grizzlies, you had Hornets, Knicks was a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Suns,
Lakers,
Devin Booker, 48 points. No big deal.
Clippers, like you got all these games that are really good. If they have these same teams play every MLK Day, like all teams in LA, Chicago played, Brooklyn played, New York played, Philadelphia played, like all them, those are all really good games.
Yeah.
And they were really came out, Kuz out here, just starting with the Hornets. Miles Bridges pointed 38 points just to start the day off. Just we're just gonna get out and watch it. Miles Bridges goes nuts.
Yeah, that was
wild. What I'm saying. And Kuz dunks on Embiid. You know what I mean? It's
that was
I think in retrospect, I enjoy MLK Day. I don't know if because it was the first time I've ever had it off.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever got to not have to sleep through the day, because usually I was working nights for the last 4 years. So I would go to sleep from 9 a.m. to about 5, missed all the games.
That sounds terrible. I don't know how you did that shit. I could never.
Man, I'm trying to get them 4 years. I'm not gonna get those years back, those daytime years back. But it's like right now, that's like one of the main things in my mind right now going forward is like socially.
Yeah.
Like I have to go back to being like trying to be social during
the day.
And now with COVID, it even stops that even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
but I'll be coming through. I'm coming through the end of January, and Charles and I are going to broadcast a one-on-one basketball. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna post some highlights, so we're gonna do it live. Either way, it's gonna be a good time. I'm bringing my basketball shoes, and then y'all can see, anybody who wants to watch. Y'all can see how we ball. And if you guys have a podcast, a little basketball podcast, any of you chumps want to play 2v2, let's go.
I'm with it.
I'm with it.
So you got to get into the number one argument we've been having since we started this podcast, and it was that the Lakers can beat the Jazz in a 7-game series.
Oh my God.
And yesterday we just saw your boy Rudy boomed on. He disappears. Where is he? Do you see?
He's gone.
Look at Jordan Clarkson. Look at his face.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's wild. Boy. Jordan Clarkson in the back. Oh man, that's hilarious. I think it's so cool how you can sit right next to the players. Like, look at this little girl sitting right next to Joe Ingles. That's pretty cool. But no, Rudy Gobert's gone forever. No, but so first of all, I want to point out that Rudy Gobert is not my boy. I think he's a respectful player that is, overrated. But I do think the Jazz in a 7-game series. That was the bet. That was the talking track. Was that in a 7-game series? Who do you got? The Lakers or the Jazz? I still got the Jazz. I'm not saying the Lakers don't win one game. They can win one game. It's clear that the Jazz had an off game, which every NBA team does. Look, I think how many points did Donovan Mitchell get? He got 13 points. That's not going to happen.
That's good defense.
Good defense. Look at Bogdanovich got 5 points.
That's good defense, man.
Everyone, their highest scorer was Mike Conley. Come on.
That's good defense. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know why you're making so many excuses for them.
Stanley
It's
Johnson got 15 points.
it's the
That's
last
not
game of
going
the
to happen
day.
again.
The last game of the day. They know they're playing on prime time NBA TV. Everybody's watching. They're playing the Lakers Sunday.
I
Monday.
never said the Lakers couldn't win one game against the Jazz. I'm saying that in a 7-game series, the Jazz are going to beat them. It's very clear to me. And
13-0 run.
I'll still ride out that bet.
13-0 run to LeBron at center.
Are you a Lakers fan now?
I'm not a Lakers fan, but I just want to point out I am not a Jazz fan at all. Through and through. I will continue to say that if the Lakers play the Jazz in a 7-game series, they will win.
I don't think the Lakers
yesterday was that. Everybody has the formula. Everybody has it. It's called the Clipper formula. I heard it all over the internet, all over Twitter. Everybody's like, the Lakers are playing how the Clippers played against the Jazz in the fourth quarter.
What's that?
The Clippers offense against the Jazz. You play small. You have everybody on the outside. You make Rudy go play perimeter defense.
Yeah, but see why that wouldn't work with the Lakers. And yeah, it did work yesterday, but in a 7-game series, it wouldn't work because they don't have the consistent shooters that they need in order for that gameplay or game plan to work out.
The funny thing about that is that you don't need to have a consistent shooters. You need to have one guy just making shots.
No, if you're gonna spread everyone out, you need consistent shooters all around. You don't just need one guy.
I'll be honest with you. You need one guy to make shots.
And who's their guy? Stanley Johnson?
It doesn't matter. Yesterday it was Avery Bradley who was making the threes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't at the right time. Terrence Mann, he's not our shooter, but he was making the threes at the time. And in one game, Marcus Morris was the guy. And in another game, Reggie was the guy. All it needs to do, because the thing is, you switch and you keep switching, and then you drive, and then Rudy comes off the guy he's guarding, and you poke it out to him, pop it out.
I get it, but I just don't think.
And that dude makes the three. That's it. That's all you got to do. It has to be one guy just has to get hot each quarter.
We can just agree to disagree. I think the Lakers. I think the Lakers don't make it out of the first round this year.
Oh, I'm with you. If they don't play the Jazz.
Whatever.
Anyways, if they play the Jazz, they getting out that first round. My God.
The Suns be cooking though.
Yeah,
honestly, the Suns be cooking. We on a little win streak of ourselves, and last night Devin Booker got 48 points. I almost got tricked. I thought he got 50, but no, he got 48 points, and he's been cooking these past 3 games.
How do we come back to Booker? How did you bring him back in the conversation? Because you were losing. Because you are. I'm not losing.
I'm just talking to the wall right now. There's no. You're just a irrational Jazz hater. So that's why we don't get anywhere with those conversations, because you're gonna ride it out. You're like, it's like talking to Skip Bayless about who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan. And he's a big Michael Jordan guy, right? Skip Bayless?
Yes.
I am a LeBron hater. So
just because you like Michael Jordan, just because you think Michael Jordan's better than LeBron doesn't think you're a LeBron hater.
No, but he is a LeBron hater. That's my point.
Yes, he is a LeBron hater.
Talking sense into Skip Bayless about LeBron it's like you're talking to the wall. So talking sense about the Jazz to you is just like, I'm really just talking to myself. We're not gonna get anywhere.
So we'll move on to the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. We've talked about the Western Conference. Devin Booker through 3-0. He's having last 3 games. He's having 37 points a game. Devin Booker doing his thing.
Yep.
Another guy is Darius Garland. 22 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds. They beat the Nets. Yes, the Nets don't have Kevin Durant, and that's big. But before we get to the Nets, you know what I'm saying? The Cavs, once again, one of the teams that I talked about beginning when they made that huge trade, got all them guys from the Bulls and Jared Allen. I'm like, okay, the Cavs making the playoffs. Yeah. I got laughed all the way to the bleachers. You're crazy. You're crazy. Put money on it. No, The Cavs, man, if they were healthy, they would be in the playoffs for sure. And this guy right here, Darius Garland, is leading them to the playoffs after all them injuries. He, to me, is an all-star. He should be.
No doubt.
And
he's like 9th right now in the rankings, which is really low.
Yeah, and we all know you hate that.
Yeah, this all-star rankings is such a fucking joke. I mean, I don't know if it's a combination of just like big cities voting or like bots or what, but I think even the 10% weighted score for fans is even too high. I would put that even lower because this list is just dumb. Like they have. I mean, if this is the current one, I'm looking at the CBS Sports one. They have Russell Westbrook over Chris Paul, and they have Klay Thompson over Devin Booker and Chris Paul. I don't understand, bro. Like, and then they have Darius Garland at 9, and they have Kyrie Irving at 6. Like, dude, what the fuck is going on, dude?
You and Stan Van Gundy would be best friends.
We're just asking, like, is this pulled from, like, asking, like, random, people on the streets, of LA or San Francisco on, like, name your top 10 starters for the All-Star? Like, this is just stupid.
It's off of hashtags, man. It's a whole lot of people on the internet.
So it's bots.
Yeah, pretty much. It could be.
Okay. Then why do we do this shit? It's stupid.
It says somebody said
we should do the voting thing again on the paper.
You got to think about it. Look at last week alone, Russell Westbrook, somebody had 239,000 mentions just between games about how much hate he was getting. And that's why when he dunked
let's do the paper voting again.
Oh, yeah, the little punch out the things. Yeah, those were at the game, too.
I know.
You had to go to the game, and you couldn't be a casual. You couldn't be just somebody that just knows somebody by their name.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Let's do that. Let's go back to that shit. This whole voting via Twitter is just not it.
So, what do you feel happens to the Nets right now? You know what I'm saying? Now, pretty much Harden is going to be by himself most of the time. For these 4 to 5 weeks. I don't have the numbers exactly how many road games there are, how many home games there are, but it's do you see them dropping down to like what, 4 or 5?
No, I think they'll drop down to like 3. And I think it's going to be ultimately good for him though. Because I think KD is used to like being out for a little bit and then coming back. KD's going to be KD when he comes back. There's no dent in his play. He's going to come back, do his thing. What I do think is going to be valuable for KD's time off is James Harden getting back to being James Harden. Let him kind of like take control. And then also let Kyrie, I mean, what is he playing like, 40% of the games now? So let Kyrie play a little bit, let James Harden and Kyrie learn how to play together because they're the 1 and 2, so I feel like their synergy might be more impactful than the synergy with Kevin Durant, James Harden, or Kevin Durant and Kyrie, because Kevin Durant is, forward position and not necessarily playing right next to like who's going to bring the ball up, and that's like really with Kyrie and James Harden, that's like one of the things that they need to figure out, like who's going to control the pace of the game, is who's going to play off the ball, and I feel like it's important for them to establish that while KD is out, and hopefully it'll work out for them in the long run.
Yeah, because especially with the on and off of home and away games, now they could take turns. James can be like, when you're not here, I'll run point. When you're back, you run point. Or, they work it out in a different way. I do agree with you. I don't think they stay in third, though. 4 or 5 weeks is a long time. I usually try to give them an extra week, like 6 weeks, because they gotta get the stamina right and everything together. So, like 6 weeks out with no KD. The Cavs are playing well. Like I said, we just talked about Cavs have won 5 in a row. The Bucks have lost 2 in a row, but the Bucks ain't gonna always stay down too long. Surprising that they lost to the Hawks. Also upsetting that the Hawks didn't win an MLK jerseys on MLK Day, which makes absolutely no sense.
I don't get
Poor
that.
job by Atlanta.
Right.
But yeah, I just can't see the Nets not dropping. But then I do think that James is going to become James a lot more. I mean, he's already been playing very well, but I feel like with Kyrie back, if they do on a losing streak, I do think that owner has to think about paying that fine. Got to think about paying that fine.
Dude, fucking Kyrie, just get the fucking vaccine, bro.
He's
Like,
not
you're
getting
gonna get it. He's gonna get it during the playoffs. Wouldn't you think?
He's
So why
not.
not
No,
just
no,
get
no,
it
no.
now?
The last press conference, dog. Like he's not getting it, dog. He's one
So
of.
wait,
He's
so
not.
you're telling me that if during the finals they play a team like the Warriors, to where, to my understanding, he would not be playing
He
at the
can't play
Warriors.
any of those games. Yes,
Any of those games, or he can't play
any
any
of
of the
them.
games in Golden State.
If he can't play the games in Golden State, or he can't play the games in Brooklyn. I think Golden State has that rule. You have to be vaccinated to play.
So he's just not gonna play in the finals. That's wild. That's wild to me. And then
I mean,
after all this shit, if he ends up getting the fucking vaccine because he wants to like play in the finals or something like that, I'm gonna be like, you're a fucking bastard.
oh
Because
yeah, for
you did all
sure.
this shit, made all this fucking drama, and then now just because like you want to make it to the finals, you're gonna take it after all this shit. It's just
And
annoying.
it is, and that's why I know he won't take it. He had the pride, but also the decision. He goes all the way in. That's 100%. I will respect him more if he didn't. I don't understand
I have
his
no respect
logic
for
of
that
not.
man,
Yeah, I don't like.
except
I
for
respect
obviously his
him.
basketball skills.
I'm saying that in the case of like he doesn't. If he gets it for the finals, I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah,
then you should have gotten a long time ago. Season would have been. We wouldn't have to go through all this if you were gonna. Because somebody's probably already said that. Like, hey man, Durant or Harden's like, hey man, what happens when we make the finals and we play the Warriors? You're not the first person to probably say this to him.
mm-hmm.
Are you not going to take it? Then, and he said no. He had to say no, because if he said yes, then KD or James would be like, bro, then why not just take it now?
Right.
Like, there's no reason to wait if you can do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. I think the Nets ultimately, and that's, I feel like that is their season. Like, they cannot win without Kyrie. They can't. Like, I don't think the Nets can beat the Warriors. I don't think they can beat the Suns. I think they might struggle with the Grizzlies, honestly. Or they can't beat the Bulls healthy. They can't beat the Bucks healthy without Kyrie. So I think they're ultimately screwed because this man won't take the vaccine.
Yeah, I'm with Charles Barkley, man. I'm over talking about it. Like, I'm over talking about him taking it or not taking it, taking it.
Right. But I think, but ultimately it is, and I'm speaking facts, and then KD out here saying that he's willing to die on the court, playing like 35 minutes plus, and then ends up getting hurt for 5-6 weeks now. Like it's inevitable. Like, y'all just speaking shit into existence. It's like, yeah, you keep playing 35 plus minutes out there, you're gonna get hurt, which he did, and then all this like shit with Kyrie is just, man. I really think Kevin Durant should have chosen Knicks, man. Like, is this not working out?
The Knicks, man, I don't know, man.
I feel like Kevin Durant is built for the Knicks, and I think he made a huge mistake not playing for the Knicks, because I think he would be flourishing right now with the Knicks, dude, and it would be like
the environment. I mean, Kyrie will still be there. They still be going through what they're going through now.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
It wouldn't change anything. It's not like there's no Kyrie. Kyrie was going wherever Durant picked. They were going with each other anywhere. Durant said Brooklyn, all right, let's go to Brooklyn. Durant said Knicks, all right, we're going to the Knicks. That's the Knicks' fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
But the Knicks, big ups to getting that good trade. Cam Reddish, you know what I'm saying? I got him for a box of chocolates.
Dumbest trade by the Hawks. You guys are
Hawks
so stupid.
Just dumb. They just gave him away, man. It looks
future all-star. 2-3 years, Cam Reddish is gonna be an all-star.
Oh gosh.
You don't think so?
No.
What? No, Cam Reddish is got all-star potential for sure. And I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm saying like 2-3 years from now, and he's gonna be good. And compared to Kevin Knox, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, well, sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm not.
So you just traded one of your top 3-4 best players for fucking nothing.
That's the problem. That's the problem when you draft well. Be honest with you. When you draft well,
you couldn't have got anything better than fucking Kevin Knox. Like, that's just dumb. I don't get it.
Yeah. The trade was awful. Now, It's just these are just things that happen when you draft well. When you draft well, you have these problems where you have to pick. You have to send one of your top 4 guys go out of there because you just ain't got enough money to go around, and you got to make a chemistry change. So pretty much, I guarantee that I was like, who is the worst person in the locker room? And Cam Reddish was that person. Has to be.
I don't know about that.
I has to be.
I don't know. I think they just put who's better, DeAndre Hunter or Cam Reddish, and I think they chose DeAndre Hunter. Which I mean, I think they are both good, but I think Cam Reddish has more potential.
Yeah, and then also had to give up. You had to talk to Trey. I'm be honest with you. If Trey didn't have nothing to do with that trade, I mean, people are just fooling themselves. If they think if they didn't come up and they didn't do what you just did.
Yeah,
you got honestly, I would have traded Bogdanovich or Reddish, and Trey was like, they said, Trey, who do you want? We got to trade one of them.
Yeah, I would have kept Cam Reddish and then traded Bogdanovich. Got rid of him and at least you can get some trade chips from him, or maybe you can get some extra value for that dude.
I mean, they could have got value for Cam, but they just decided not to.
Right. Let's get Kevin Knox, whatever. You remember Kevin Knox? Yeah, I remember Kevin Knox.
They see.
Yeah, I saw a couple highlights of that dude.
There's 2 ways of trading. They can do the Indiana Pacers way, put a whole bunch of people on a table, but taking it hella long to do.
Does anybody want anything?
Does anybody, you know what I'm saying? But then want to be really, really bougie about whoever people are giving to you. Or you can be like the Hawks, who were on a losing streak. First time they won at home on MLK Day. It was the first they won at home since like November 20th or something like that crazy.
Yeah.
So they just had to make a desperate decision, and desperate decisions makes a desperate trade, which equals a bad trade. You know what I'm saying? So you're not like the Pacers are not desperate. That's why they're waiting so long. That's why they're looking for the best trade. Same thing with the Sixers. Sixers are not desperate, so they're not like want to just give Ben Simmons away for nothing. But the Hawks, they didn't want to continue to lose, so they had to make a change, even if the change was not a change.
Just damn shame.
It is.
Yeah, they stupid, but it's all right. It's all right.
So another conversation that got you really heated offline.
Sounds all right.
Ja Morant and the Derrick Rose comparison. You are gung ho saying they are not the same.
No.
Why?
Well, first of all, Derrick Rose was a clear MVP, and he won the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they both have hops, but to put Ja Morant in that Derrick Rose category yet, I mean, I'm saying that like maybe Ja Morant does. Maybe he could pass Derrick Rose and how he played. I mean, obviously Derrick Rose played by injuries, so I think if Ja Morant stays healthy, he could exceed Derrick Rose's accolades and his achievements. But to do it right now, I mean, that's the thing is that everyone's jumping on the hype train so early, and it's just like let him form, let him, let the Grizzlies prove something first. Like they just got good this year. Like, did they make the playoffs last year? Yes. They did barely, right? They snuck in, So let them, have one solid season. Let Ja Morant figure things out. I mean, we don't have to jump on the bandwagon this early. Like, I'm not saying that we won't eventually get there, but like, why is everyone consistently jumping the gun on this shit? Have some respect to Derrick Rose. The guy is a fucking legend. And that MVP year, I mean, if anyone wants to question whether or not Derrick Rose was better then than Ja Morant now, go watch highlights. Go watch Derrick Rose's fucking season, his MVP year. And you'll be corrected, because Derrick Rose was like, honestly, there was really no comparison. I felt like it wasn't even a race that year. Derrick Rose, for me personally, was like the clear MVP. And I don't think Ja Morant is even close to being the MVP this year. When you compare stats with Devin Booker, honestly, and I hate to bring up Devin Booker again, but Devin Booker beats him in every category except field goal percentage and assists. I think steals. He might have him like a little bit on steals, but like, so it's like, dude, he's not even close to the MVP race. I know some people.
Where do you have him?
I-
You don't have. What do you have? If you had to pick what's your 5 for the MVP race right now? Who's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Well, it's not going to be Ja in that top 5. I'll tell you that right now. So it's going to be.
So Ja's not in your top 5 MVP race right now.
No, of course not.
Wow.
It's going to be. All right. So KD got hurt, so I'm not going to put KD there anymore.
I mean, you guys still put KD there. I mean,
okay. So I'll put KD 1. I'm going to put Joker 2. I'm going to put Giannis 3. I'm going to put Steph Curry 4. And then 5. 5. I'm gonna put DeMar DeRozan.
Did you didn't even put Devin Booker in your own 5 MVP race?
Because I don't think that he's got an MVP year. I don't think he's playing MVP basketball. I think he's above Ja Morant. But I think he's in the bottom 10. Or like he's like from 5 to 10. And I think Ja Morant's from 5 to 10. But Derrick Rose was the clear number 1. So that's why I don't think there's a comparison. No disrespect to Ja Morant, but I'm just saying, like, we can't jump the gun on this shit. I know everyone gets excited and they want to start creating, narratives and being like, I'll start comparing players and like their years and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, let's fucking respect what Derrick Rose did before we jump the gun on making that comparison. That's my only point.
He makes some great points. At 22. I mean, look at here. I'm a Derrick Rose fan. As much as Ja reminds me of Derrick Rose, I believe this year is like you said, not on the caliber of that 22 that year. You know what I'm saying? Derrick Rose's year. You know what I'm saying? It's just, man, they were top of the East. They only lost 20 games. He was averaging 25.7 assists, 4 rebounds. You know what I'm saying?
And yamming on people constantly, which Ja Morant does.
Ja Morant does. He does yam on people.
Derrick Rose was yamming constantly.
And that's the thing. That's always happens. What with the comparisons that they go right to like the abilities. Yeah. And Ja has got that spin move layup he does every single time. He can yam on people. His team is good. His team is 3rd in the West, but
number 1 in power rankings.
Yeah, and the thing is, Rose this was during LeBron's prime. LeBron. Yeah, like you had to be really, really good to take a LeBron James
MVP race,
MVP away from him. Because during this time, you thought LeBron was winning MVP every year.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Every single year. And then people to this day still don't want to give Derrick Rose that MVP because LeBron was averaging 26, 7, and 7. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like his first year in Miami, they struggled, and that's probably why they didn't get the top spot. And obviously everybody goes into the playoff game like, oh, LeBron shut down Rose. You see him guard him and shut him down and da-da-da-da. Guys, it was the playoffs. LeBron James against Derrick Rose.
What was their second best player? Like Joakim Noah or something like that? Like, stop it, dude.
Yeah, who do you think is going to win that battle? 22-year-old Derrick Rose versus LeBron James, who already had how many years in the league by then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years in the league by then. Yes. LeBron's gonna win that battle. Yeah. So that's why I always get like, they're like, oh, LeBron. Like, I'm like, y'all trying to give LeBron the MVP that year because of what he did in the playoffs. Yeah. They still lost to the Mavs that year. Right. I mean, Derrick Rose was unbelievable that year. I mean, like you said, that Bulls team wasn't. If you put them on to this day, I look at that roster going, I don't know how they only lost 20 games. They only lost 20 games.
They had like Boozer, right? Or like Todd.
That Derrick Rose, 2010.
That team was kind of booty, I'm not gonna lie.
Let's take a look because I need to look at that roster because that roster is something. 2010, Yeah, the roster with the Bulls that year: Omer-esque, Keith Bogans, Carlos Boozer, Ronnie Brewer, Rajel Butler, Luau Dang, Taj
Luau.
Gibson, Dobbs Gibson's rookie year, James Johnson
No
rookie year,
shooters.
Kyle Korver,
Oh, there you go.
John Lucas III, Joakim Noah, I think was probably defensive player of the year that year. I want to say.
Which is wild to think that he was ranked the defensive player of the year.
Was he?
Yeah, I thought he won. Didn't he win the defensive player of the year one of those years?
Yeah, he did.
That's just crazy.
Now you gotta make me look it up. Who won that defensive player of the year 2010? Oh, Dwight Howard won.
That makes sense.
He won 3 years in a row. That was his third year. But I was like, there's no way Joakim won his third year in the league. He won the defensive player of the year. But Derrick Rose's second year, and they had Brian Scalabrine, Kurt Thomas, and C.J. Watson to round out that team. And that team only lost 20 games.
Emphasis on the round. Scalabrine.
And they lost to the Miami Heat 4-1.
Yeah. So back to the comparison. Respect to Ja Morant, but he's not there yet. We'll see if he gets there.
I agree. I think Derrick Rose is at a different space. Now, I think the league is a lot more tougher per se. And a lot more, I will not say tougher, a lot more balanced. You know what I'm saying? During that time, those are the years it wasn't really. I think a lot of the you knew who was in the championship.
Yeah,
during those times. So I think Ja's close though. I think he's on the right path. I think he's in a path. If they were like racing year to year comparison, like this is obviously year 3 for Ja, and that was year 2.
Yeah, so I don't think that works either. But we'll just say that Ja Morant is excelling and he's good. But let's not compare him to Derrick Rose yet.
And before we go, I have to send a shout out to my niece, Sanai.
Oh yeah, Sanai.
LSU Tigers. That's national champions. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations. Crazy. It was great to watch. I don't think I've seen family win a championship. I don't think I've ever seen anyone in my family win a championship.
Yeah, that's wild. So is the cheerleading hip hop
dance national champions? Yeah,
national championship.
Yeah. They also competed in the jazz, and they got the jazz dance portion, and they got 8th, I think. If I can remember, but yeah, she killed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I've been told by the fam is that she pretty much choreographed the entire hip hop dance thing. Hip hop dance. There's not a thing. Hip hop dance. I'm tripping. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? So, she put in the hard work, since I've known her, since being in the Fries family and getting married to her, and everything like that. My wife she's been grinding, and I've just seen her grind this entire time with dance competitions that I've been to, and just to see her in her junior year at LSU win a national championship it's incredible. Yeah. So, from us to you, congratulations. Keep doing it, and can't wait to be down there next year to watch you win again, get back to back. So, they've already talked about it. They've already talked about what's coming next year. So I'm like, all right, we're going.
Yeah, Disney World. I've actually never been to Louisiana, so I'm excited.
No, it'd be in we are gonna go to that too. We are gonna go.
Yeah, we're going to LSU this year.
Yeah, definitely going.
But where was the competition?
Competition in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, that's far from you, bro.
I mean, it's my old stopping grounds. I was an intern out there for Walt Disney World for a year, ESPN Wide World of Sports, so I kind of know that area very well.
How long is that flight from LA to Orlando? It's like 37 million hours?
About 6 hours.
Sheesh. Damn. Okay.
I flew a lot as a kid. I'm used to it. It's crazy how some people just terrified of flying. It just bugs me out when people are like, oh, I don't like to fly. I'm like, why? Like I just saw this airline.
Yeah, I mean, I can fly, but some people, I feel like they get nervous and anxiety.
Somebody said that I think I saw something with a pilot. They saw another airplane, and the pilot was like, "Hey guys, everybody strap in. This pilot, to see the plane on all right. They want to race, so everybody strap in." And I feel like some people be like, "Oh my gosh, we're about to race this plane." Me, I would have strapped in, like, "Let's go, let's get this W. We about to win, yeah."
I love it. Yeah, I mean, whenever the turbulence gets a little extra, that can be not fun. But I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, if you get anxious, maybe take an edible. That'll help.
I did that.
That'll either help or it won't help at all.
It did not help me at all. Like I've never done it before, and I don't need help. But when I took one, somebody gave me like a lozenge, and I was like on there like. But I think it did help because it was like the first time I flew with a mask on, so I was even more like paranoid. Like I was like, I can't breathe.
Yeah, that's what can get you, bro.
Yeah, man.
You get a little too confident on there, and you take it on the plane. No, sneak up on you, and you got nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go. Yeah, I know you got tons of stories about doing.
Yeah. Another time.
But all right, yeah, man. Thank y'all for listening to Chasing Chips. Keep checking us out every Tuesday. Follow us on Twitter. Go ahead and say your Twitter. What is your Twitter again? Sure.
At Davis Joshua J.
And I am the Arena of the Mind.
Yeah. Instagram is Chasing Chips Pod. And yeah, that's on Instagram. And then I think it's Chasing Chips Pod on Twitter as well. Yes. And yeah, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we'll try to do this every Tuesday, and we're just.
We will. It's on and popping now. We got the schedule down. Every Tuesday we coming at y'all. Subscribe, all that stuff. Like I said, you got anything you want us to talk about, you want to tap in with us, want to jump in with us. You're a fan of a team, and you're like, hey man, I want to talk my shit on here for. Come on, hop on.
Yeah, I think we need to get some Lakers fans on here.
I think we do. I got a Lakers fan. I got one of my best. I told him about it the other day. I think we're gonna get a Lakers fan on.
All right.
He loves them, but he's an honest Laker fan, so he's not like he.
We need an irrational Lakers fan.
We need. Ooh,
we don't need no nice guys. We need some assholes. We need an asshole Laker fan.
I wouldn't know any because I wouldn't keep none of no asshole Laker fan in my circle. Like,
I can check the Rolodex.
Yeah, I don't think I'll keep any asshole fan in my circle. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
like, you got to be honest with yourself.
But I think we're both irrational fans. I'm a Rational Suns fan. You're a Rational Clippers fan. So
I am irrational.
Yeah, we can't get to know poised Lakers fan and it's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, Russell Westbrook, he's been okay, but I'd like to, maybe find him in a trade package of sorts. No, we need to be diehard Lakers fan. Russell Westbrook is the second coming of Jesus. I want someone like that.
Good luck.
Right. Good luck. Maybe not Westbrook.
All right, y'all. Talk to y'all.
Peace.